Good evening, class. I'm sorry I could not join you for Lab 7 and 8, but I'm here to talk about the results. So let's start on page 32 of your lab manual. The first thing it asks you to do is draw some cheek cells. That's approximately what they would look like at 100 objective at the medium power under 10x. Little circles. I did get the note that you got to see those, but if you didn't get to fill them in your drawing, here's an example, and here's the cheek cells, a rendition of those under the higher power. The question at the bottom, what are the similarities between plant and animal cells? You can have various things on here depending on what your textbook tells you, but obvious similarities are the presence of a nucleus and other organelles, and the presence of a cell membrane. What are the differences? We're moving on to page 33. What are the differences? The most obvious difference is the cell wall and the chloroplast within the cell wall of the plant cell. The animal cell doesn't need those. And then they have you do a Venn diagram. If you haven't done one of those before, it shows you what's in one of the types of things that you're comparing, what's in the other one, and then what's in the middle is in the middle section that the two circles are combined in. In the plants only, you obviously have your cell wall, and there's no chloroplast, of course, in the animal cell, so it's in plant cell only. The cell membrane is in the animal cells, and the nucleus, vacuoles, and other organelles are in both. How does the structure and makeup of the cell wall make it retain its structure after it's no longer living? And does this also apply to the cell membrane of an animal cell? Not so much in the animal cell, since the cell wall of a plant cell is made out of cellulose. It gives the structure rigor because, plants rely on those cells to stand up. And that's going to be a longer lasting structure, which you saw in the cork. And what possible reasons, based on the characteristic needs of plants and animals, is the structure of the plant cell would need to be different. Well, we talked about that already. That the cells actually, the outer cells with the cell walls actually hold the plant up, where animals generally have bones and other structures that hold them erect. And the animal cell wall must be flexible because we move a lot more than plant cells. That was the end of page 33. On page 34, there's another rendition of what you might have seen in the leaf cells of the waterweed plant. You may have seen the round nucleuses in them, or the nuclei. The chloroplasts are little round things, and then the cell wall looks like the little bricks. The first question described the size and appearance and placement of the chloroplasts. You might have seen them in different places, but usually the chloroplasts are around the inside of the cell wall. I know you did not see cytoplasmic streaming, but you did see that on the video. It shows that the chloroplasts move around the edge of the plant cell for the most part around the cell wall. And why does it do that as well? First of all, it needs to move in order to deliver nutrients to the cell, and the second thing is if it moves, it can catch more sunlight so it can produce more food for the cell. Okay, well that's it for the lab 7 and 8. Thank you for completing that without me. I've given you a homework lab because it requires overnight. The selectively permeable membrane, which is lab 9, on page 37, starts on page 37 of your book, requires an overnight, and it does not require a microscope. That's why I sent it home with you. Please try to get that done this week. If you have absolutely no idea, once you read the instructions on how to do that lab, by all means watch the video. That at least shows you how to set up your membrane and fill it with water. And then of course you're answering the questions on the results page of page 39 in your book. And then read ahead to the mitosis lab so you know what we're doing for next week. Good luck. Have a great week. I look forward to seeing you.